If you want something to grow in your life, you have to figure out how to be a fan of it. And that is the quote of the day. Welcome back to the Quote of the Day show. I'm your host, Sean Croxton of SeanCroxton.com. It is not Finance Friday today. We're going to call it Fan Friday or something like that because we got Mel Robbins on the show. And what she's doing is she's encouraging you to become a fan of your friends, to become a fan of your family when they decide to do something greater in their lives. Here's Mel.
But so basically, Chris and I have been married 19 years, and about 9 years ago, that's our son, Oakley, Chris came home, and he was carrying a cardboard box. And I'm sure there will be many people in this room that have experienced this in their life. And he comes walking in the door, and he puts the cardboard box down, and I'm like, hey, what's that? And he says, I got fired. And I said, oh, okay. No problem. And I went right into cheerleading mode, right? You know, I'm an executive coach. We got this. No problem. The recruiters are calling. You'll go to the competitor. Not a big deal. La, 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 la. And he said, no. I said, what do you mean no? He said, I'm not happy. I just don't want to work for a company I don't believe in. I don't want to get on a plane to do a PowerPoint for a product I don't care about. I'm really unhappy. I'm not going to go back to work. I'm like, is there some trust fund that I'm unaware of that was not part of the disclosure we had when we got married? And I said, really? And he said, yeah, really. I'm just going to figure out what I want to do. And so I looked at him and said the most famous lines of our marriage. I said, listen, cover the kids' ears. All this inspiration shit is for strangers. You get your butt out there and you get a job. You pay the mortgage because that's what a man does. And by the way, this is what I looked like at the time. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Hands on the belly. And Chris said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm miserable. And so I said, okay. And I put the house on the market to call his bluff. And we got an offer the next day, and he said, take it. That's not how this was supposed to go. And so I was supposed to scare you with my attitude. And he said, take it. I'm serious, Mel. And I realized, holy cow, he's doing this. And so for the next 3 months, I was a you-know-what on wheels. Can you believe he's doing this? You get yours down here and you get your son and he's supposed to take care of me and I can't believe. And I spent all my time complaining and all my time gathering evidence and all my time getting my posse to agree he was a loser and I shouldn't have married him. And this was the worst thing that could have happened. And then somebody said something to me that changed everything. She basically said, which is what I'm going to say to you today, he's already made his decision. Now it's time for you to make yours. And you can either be the big B that he did it in spite of, and let's roll the clock forward, shall we? Let's roll the clock forward 2 years, and let's see what your marriage looks like if all you do is complain about him and gossip behind his back and build evidence that he's a loser and a failure and a this, that, and the other thing. How's that turn out for you? You getting what you want, Mel? No. Well, what do you want? Goes back to our question, right? What do you want? In any single situation, a sales meeting where you've just measured somebody and you want them to buy the suit, a meeting at school where your kid is a teacher you can't stand and you want him or her to start adjusting how they treat your kid. If you come into this like an emotional freight train, you ain't getting anything. It's when you got to pull back and be like, okay, let me think about this strategically. How do I align what I'm doing and force myself, even though I want to strangle him right now, to be amazing? And so for the next 3 to 6 months, I did something that's very hard to do, which is what you're going to have to do if you want to sell anything, if you want to grow your business, if you want to recruit people. I had to wake up and fake it. I had to wake up and pretend like starting a restaurant, which, by the way, you've never worked in before, whoops, is the greatest thing ever. I had to cheer him on. I had to become his biggest fan. You want Jay Hilburn to work for everything that you dream about, you got to become a fan. You got to be a cheerleader. And if you don't feel like it, you got to fake it. All this guy wanted to do was have pizza restaurants. Now he's got 6 of them. Yes. Where is Chris? I don't know where he is. I think that was his whistle. But, you know, the thing that I'm the most proud of in my life, of all the fun stuff I get to do, is my marriage to Chris. And it's because I figured out, because of that breakdown, this idea of if you want something to grow in your life, you have to figure out how to be a fan of it.